covering the winds and how they're carrying the emissions. But we begin with Mileka Lincoln, who has more on the fissure that's feeding the ocean entry and what's happening down on the water. Mileka.
Aloha, Lisa. Yes, we are talking about an extraordinarily active and dynamic fissure. You can see it here. Fissure 20, as it's being called, is the convergence of fissures 16, 18, 19, and 20. And the amount of volume of lava that has been spewing out of this fissure created that river you spoke of that traveled 3.8 miles down to where it crossed Highway 137 just before 11 o'clock last night and continues to now pour into the Pacific Ocean. Now, there are several new hazards that officials have asked us to let our viewers know about as a result of this ocean entry, starting first with the new Puna safety zone that has been set up and will be enforced by the United States Coast Guard. They are telling folks that unless you are a permitted lava tour boat, so again, for mariners who do not have prior limited entry approval, the safety zone now encompasses all waters extending 300 meters or about 1,000 feet in all directions around the entry of the two lava flows that have entered into the Pacific. Now, according to Hawaii County Civil Defense Agency officials, lava entering the ocean produces lays. Lava haze, that's the term provided by HVO scientists, and that's formed when hot lava hits the ocean, sending hydrochloric acid and steam with fine glass particles into the air. Lay's health hazards include lung, eye, and skin irritation. Take a listen to what Hawaii County Civil Defense Agency Administrator Talmadge Magno had to say about that risk.
People need to be aware that it's a dangerous situation. The lays, the plume that's created from the hot lava entering the ocean, the seawater, creates hydrochloric acid, and you got the glass particles in that plume, which creates, which is a breathing hazard basically.
And it's a breathing hazard that, according to officials, does not go away as it becomes impossible for those glass particles to pass through the lungs if they're trapped there. The other warning, however, from officials is that folks need to be aware of the potential for additional hazards created again by this lava ocean entry, everything from ground deformation, additional seismic activity, newly formed lava deltas, existing cliff collapses. Those are all the potential coastal hazards, including they're cautioning the potential for localized tsunamis along the coastline and out to sea. And that's one of the many reasons why Hawaii County Civil Defense Agency officials are working in such close coordination with federal, state, and other county agencies and partners to ensure the safety of all residents and visitors. They understand, of course, that this is history in the making, that this is certainly something folks want to get a closer look at, but they're asking again for any resident, for any visitor who may be in the area to please try to avoid this ocean plume, given the health hazard related to that and also the potential for other risks being in close proximity to where this lava is entering the ocean again, just off of Malama Flats in an area we are told that is right now southwest of Isaac Hale Beach Park and a very popular Poho'iki surf spot, and northeast of Mackenzie State Park. That's right now where those two flows are entering the ocean. Now back here, more uprift of this very extremely active lower east rift zone in this area outside of Lani Puna Garden subdivision, where we have been for the last several days. We have seen the activity at Fissure 20, as steady as it has been, also start to decrease just a little. And Lisa, my understanding is that USGS HVO field scientists have an explanation for that.
The USGS says some of the lava from Fissure 20 complex could be taking a different path. A hole opened up early this morning, which is now siphoning the flow from the eastern channel of the complex underground. Experts say the crack is robbing the eastern channel and making it less vigorous than the western entry point. The USGS says the future of the underground magma is as unpredictable as the eruptions.
We did see the same thing, the same type of thing during the Kamoamoa eruption in 2011, and that magma, or the lava that poured into the ground, never reappeared at the surface. So it's possible that something like that will happen again, but we are not sure.
USGS officials do not know how the hole formed, but say it could have originated from the cracks created by the earthquakes. The lava output remains high in the lower East Rift Zone, and there have also been more explosions at the summit of Kilauea, including 2 in the last day.
I think both of them ejected ash up to about 2 miles above sea level. Relatively small compared to the one last Thursday, I think, that ejected stuff up to 30,000 feet.
We do know that it's unpredictable. There still is a lot of pressure in the rift zone. We know that it could change at any point in time, and so we continue our planning.
Besides the Fissure 20 flows, Fissure 6 has recently been reactivated and is putting out a Pahoehoe flow that crossed Pohoiki Road again today. County leaders got their first look at the walls of lava that crossed Highway 137 late last night, and even they're stunned by the magnitude of the flow. Mahealani Richardson joins us live from Pahoa. Mahea.
Lisa, I'm here at one of the checkpoints in Pahoa where access is blocked to visitors. But today we went in with the National Guard to look at the lava that crossed Highway 137. There are 2 fingers, and USGS scientists say each finger is about 200 yards wide. The wall of lava that crossed Highway 137 is about 20 feet high. It looked like a massive barbecue with spitting flames, a hot center, and gases rising. As it rained, swirling steam billowed from the warm asphalt road and the lava wall. Herman Andaya, administrator from Maui Emergency Management Agency, is helping Hawaii County with resources and saw the decimated road for the first time.
I mean, how huge this thing is, you know, I'm just, the magnitude of the flow and everything, I'm just speechless.
While we were checking out the lava wall, we heard a frightening sound, so the National Guard ordered everyone to get back. We just heard an explosion. There's a 20-foot wall of lava behind us, and we heard an explosion, so we were just told to get out.
There's some active lava that's popping pretty close by. And so you just, again, you don't want to be around when 2,000-degree lava starts to splatter.
Hawaii County warned of sulfur dioxide levels tripling down rift. But here, the wind was in our favor. As the lava pours into the ocean, officials warn of another danger.
You can also get hydrogen chloride, and the winds are kind of swirling and circulating, and best not to stay in the area for too long.
Now, Governor Ige says today that state and county officials are working together to try to maintain access, but it is clear that Highway 137 is changed forever. And that's certainly going to be a lot of questions on Tuesday when the community gets together for another meeting. Reporting live from Pahoa, I'm Mahealani Richardson, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Mahealani. Some Lower Puna residents are calling on Hawaii County to open its campgrounds to evacuees. Today, officials responded, saying the island's beach parks aren't shelters. As our Allison Blair reports, the issue recently came to a head when the county discovered 70 campers at Spencer Beach Park.
Some of those campers told authorities they had homes in the lava evacuation zone, while others fled the area to escape high levels of sulfur dioxide. I'm told many of the people there had purchased permits to camp, but on Friday, those permits expired.
I was downwind, directly downwind of basically all of the fissures that have opened up.
Ben Warner's home isn't in an evacuation zone, but says sulfur dioxide fumes made staying in Kalapana Seaview Estates unbearable. He says both he and one of his children had severe reactions to the toxic gas.
We would both wake up with sneezing fits and coughing and runny nose. My family and I didn't want to stay anymore and breathe that air.
Instead of going to one of the open-air shelters, Warner, his wife, and their 2 children headed west. For about a week, they camped at Spencer Beach Park in Kauai High until Friday when police told his family, along with dozens more evacuees, they had to go because someone else had reserved their campsite.
I need to be clear that we all paid for our permit until the point where there were technically no permits available. At this point, Mayor Kim needs to make a proclamation opening up these campgrounds, regardless of whether there's permits out or not, to evacuees that can prove that they're from Lower Puna.
The deputy director for the Parks Department says the county has no plans to turn its campgrounds into a safe zone for evacuees. Instead, it opened a clean air evacuation center in Puna last Wednesday at Sure Foundation Church.
Currently, we only have one person staying there, and the Red Cross opened up that facility specifically for people who have breathing problems associated with VOG. We have everything that they need, everything from food to water to blankets to cots.
Messina says if evacuees would prefer to camp, they need to pay for a permit just like everyone else.
And we would ask that they show kukua and not push people out of the camping areas that have valid permits.
Meantime, the Warner family is staying in a hotel in Kona as they prepare to make their next move.
And we're going to mainland because there's just too much uncertainty for us. We've got family in San Diego.
Again, the clean air shelter is located at Sure Foundation Church on Pohaku Circle. I'm told there's space for a total of 50 people. Allison Blair, Hawaii News Now.
Allison, thank you very much. With the higher chance of volcanic gases, will we have our trade winds to help? Ben Gutierrez joins us now with the first forecast.
Thanks very much, Lisa. Some good news now is that the trade winds are expected to remain with us all week long. Right now on Hawaii Island, winds are coming in mainly from the east-northeast at about 15 miles per hour, 10 to 15 in Hilo. The overall wind flow still will keep most of the VOG in the Ka'u and most of the Puna district. Maybe a little bit is going to curve up into the Kona side. Trade winds are remaining rather breezy for the rest of the state, right around 15 to 20 miles per hour. Winds are forecast to back down just slightly, a little bit tomorrow, but they should still be blowing in the 10 to 20 mile per hour range, and then they'll strengthen a bit again on Wednesday. Also, a couple of showers, a little bit of moisture riding in on the trades with a few clouds over Maui and Hawaii Island. It has been a wet afternoon and evening for the Hilo and Puna districts all the way up into Hamakua and windward Kohala. Maui also has a few windward showers, especially along the road to Hana and the West Maui Mountains. So I'll talk more about the trade winds coming up for you in the full forecast.
All right, thank you, Ben, and be sure to stay with Hawaii News Now on air and online for updates and the latest developments on the Kilauea eruption. Coming up, new endorsements in the race for the state's second highest office. Find out which unions are supporting Josh Green and why.